Welcome to In the Groove with Todd and Jackie, the podcast where good vibes meet great conversations and change makers take center stage.
Each week, we sit down with inspiring authors, impactful speakers, and visionary leaders who are making a difference in the world.
We're bringing you powerful insights, engaging stories, and actionable ideas to amplify your voice and spark meaningful change.
So get ready to get in the groove as we dive into conversations that uplift, inspire, and empower.
Now, here's Todd and Jackie.
Hey, it's another groovy day, and that's because, well, we make it that way. Welcome to In the Groove with Todd and Jackie. I'm Todd.
I'm Jackie, and this is the podcast where good vibes meet great conversations and change makers take center stage.
That's right. We're talking to people who want to expand their mission, their message, and maybe even monetize their business with their message.
And besides this podcast, Todd and I get in the groove through what we call our VIP experience. This is an opportunity where someone who, let's say, has written a book and who needs to get that message out there to the world and promote it, or someone who's had a business for a little while, not getting the results they want and realize, I got to speak. I got to get on stages. I got to sell one to many instead of trying to reach just one or two people at a time. That means you have to have a signature talk. You've got to have a talk that is going to be relatable through storytelling, that your audience is going to go, I want to buy from that person. I'm inspired by their story. I resonate with it, and I want to get to know them better. So how do you come up with a signature talk? Well,
let Jackie get it out of you.
That's right.
Because everyone has one in them.
That's right.
And she'll find it and get it out of you.
And that's what we call our VIP experience. So I will travel to you, or you and I can travel anywhere you want to, tropical or whatever. 3 or 4 days we will spend together focused on what is your life experience. How can we turn that into story? How do all those stories create a message that's inspirational? And maybe even we craft a program or something that you can offer, okay? We record that in front of a live audience after it's all practiced, and we start building those assets of speaker library items so that you can very easily start submitting proposals to event organizers wherever. So we'll get together somewhere in the world. I like tropical places, beaches. You can't beat beaches, right? And so that's our VIP experience. How do they find out more about that?
Well, we don't want to forget that everybody has a TEDx talk in them too, and she can get that out of you as well. We already have many clients who have been on the TEDx stage. That's right. And it's an amazing experience to watch somebody grow with that. How can you find out more? It's simple. Go to toddandjackie.com, click on the Impact and Outreach tab, and then on Costa Rica retreats or the Speak Feed Lead project, all of our programs and listings are right there. Go on a trip, surf around, check us out. Yeah. We got something just for you.
Right. And imagine in just 3 or 4 days, you have your talk done, ready to deliver, and having delivered it. So anyway, all right. Bringing good vibes today so we can have a great conversation is changemaker Leslie Nelson. Leslie is the founder and the chief executive officer of Pivotal Connections, LLC. She's a Maxwell Leadership Certified team member, a Master of Business Administration degree from Georgia College and State University, and Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration from Metropolitan State University. She is also a military veteran and a spouse to a military veteran and a parent. She's also, and probably what we'll spend most of our time talking about today, is the author of a book. It's called Giving Recklessly, Testimonials and Examples to Inspire Higher Levels of Generosity. And you can find Leslie at pivotalconnect.org. Leslie, welcome to In the Groove with Todd and Jackie.
Hey, good morning. Thank you all for welcoming me here today. It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Well,
Yeah.
it's delightful to have you here.
So
Yeah.
right out of the gate, what we want to know, and we have this amazing audience tuned into us.
Mhm.
They're ready to listen, but what is it what we're going to come away with today?
Todd, that's a great question. I think at the end, I know at the end of this conversation, we're going to have a better perspective on how generosity fits
Mm,
into every aspect of our life, whether we're leading others, when we're leading ourselves, but mostly how we're showing up in the community for others. So generosity is really what we're going to come away with today. And I want to
Now,
throughout our conversation, I do want to nail down like 7 specific ways that we can give to other
mm,
people. Mhm.
nice. Okay.
well, generosity is a big word, and there are many avenues to be a generous soul or a generous person. Maybe define it for us a little bit. What does that really mean if we dig down?
Yeah, so generosity, it definitely has, this is a faith-based book that I wrote. So it definitely has roots. I'm a Christian and I believe in God, and it definitely has its roots to the creation. Has its roots
Mm,
to when Christ died on the cross for our sins and he sent the Holy Spirit after us. So those are the things that I believe. And so those are the ultimate acts of generosity. And that set the example, the stage for how we should give to others. So I start with that at the beginning of the book. And then I talk about how generosity has impacted me. There's no box that generosity fits into. We have to be observant, we have to be aware, and we have to reflect and realize the impact that it has had on our lives. So that's what I did. I reflected on how generosity has affected me all of my life, and then went into other aspects of the book about the ways that we can give. So generosity, you figure out what it means to you. It has multiple meanings. We know it
yeah.
means giving, sharing, giving of ourselves, but we have to find ways to uniquely show those examples and to do them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, first of all, for your service in the military and
Mhm.
for your husband's service as well. That is definitely generosity in one word. So, when you are talking about generosity to audiences or clients or other people, do you find that it's easily accepted message, or people that are listening to you, are they typically generous, or are these people that you're helping to find ways to be generous, or is it a little bit of both?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's actually a little bit of both. A lot of times when we think about being generous, we think about money, right? We think about how, especially in our churches and our ministry, and there's a need to be generous with our money. I get the most aha moments when I talk about 7 non-monetary ways that we can give to other people. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's something that we can think about and realize, oh, I have been doing this before. I didn't realize that's what it was. Some people do it very naturally. Other people just need the prompting and need the awareness of this is actually how they're showing up and they're making a difference. So the 7 ways I talk about that are non-monetary, first of all, is like our random acts of kindness. Todd, have you ever been at a grocery store or someplace in the public where maybe somebody opens the door for you? Maybe you might see someone in a wheelchair, someone who's having difficulties, challenges getting around, and someone takes the time and comes over and helps support them. Those are random acts of kindness that we all have the ability to use and to do in our everyday walk. One of the one of the random acts of kindness that I'll never forget is as I was growing up, I actually was coming home from school one day and I ran into a young man. And I didn't know him from the man on the moon, as they say. And as a teenager, my naive self, I said, hey, I'll just take him home and my mom will know exactly what to do. And that's what we did. We brought him home. And today we consider him our brother and he's my mother's his mummy. But I addressed the need at the time, and I assert that there's a lot of other ways that you two and our audience has already done those types of things. I will pause here because again, there's 6 other ways I talk about in the book. I just want to make sure that I'm not stepping over into the other question you might want to ask before we move
No,
forward.
I think just to add to that, random acts of kindness, I participate. I've seen it especially blindly or anonymously. But there are
Mhm.
three people that benefit from that. There's the
Mm.
person that does it, there's the person that receives it, and then there's the person that witnesses it. So you're
Mm.
actually putting great energy out every time you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I hadn't thought about the three-pronged approach, but definitely, especially people again that are struggling to understand how am I contributing? Like, what can I do? Let's not make it too hard. Let's not overanalyze it. When we see the opportunity, just do it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do it. Another way that we can give, and this pertains to leadership. We think about in the workshop how we can work, I'm sorry, in the workforce, how we can show care, encouragement, and mentoring toward for other people. In this day and age, we think about our youth, our next gen that need people to spend time with them, just to share experiences, to help them see a path based on what their unique strengths are, right? Help them to see a path and let them know that they can do it. When
Mhm.
I look back over my life, if I didn't have people through every career move I made that just encouraged me, that kept me going, I frankly don't know where I would be today. So we need people to care for us, encourage us, and mentor us, especially as leaders.
That's where a good wife comes in handy.
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. Our everyday relationships. And I have a friend, and as we talk about giving people our time, I have a good friend I talk about in my book here, and a sister-in-law. And these are two women that they just naturally give our young people their time. They just do it naturally.
Mhm.
And sometimes it can come off as maybe a little rough around the edges. Sometimes when we talk to people, maybe a little rough around the edges, but the gift is being able to talk to someone with that right amount of candor, that right amount of frankness that lets them know that you truly care about them, that you're looking out for the best of them. And so these are some things that you might want to try. It's almost like a coaching experience, right?
Right.
But you want to give people that encouragement to let them know that they can do it. And that requires us to set aside time to be intentional about having those conversations. So I really love that part of it, because it can
Yeah.
come so naturally. And we just have to
Well,
take advantage of the opportunities.
absolutely. And you've learned from John Maxwell, a great leader. And so what I think you're describing in this mentoring is leadership, right? It's influencing people in a positive way because of they see your behavior, they hear your language and the way that you speak to people, and we can inspire so many people even though we don't actually speak to them, right? I mean, we can influence them in positive
Mhm.
ways. So I
Absolutely.
think that's
Absolutely.
beautiful. So we've got random acts of kindness. We've got, are you calling it mentorship in the
Mhm.
workplace? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So what's the third way that we can show generosity to others?
I want to talk about hospitality.
Mm,
Hospitality. Over 20 years ago, probably about 23-ish years ago, my husband was deployed. If you all remember, it was around Iraq wartime, and my husband was deployed. At the same time, coincidentally, I was offered a job about 2 hours away from where we were living.
mm,
And we quickly had to make a decision as to what we were going to do about our kids, right? And we have four kids, they're all adults now. But at the time, they were in various stages of their education, they were small. We had to decide what we were going to do. At the end of the day, my husband, he was deployed. Our children stayed with my mom. And then I took a job about 2 hours away. And when I tell you the week was about going back and forth to see the kids driving back down, et cetera, et cetera, within about 2 weeks of me starting that new job, a coworker, and she did not know me at all. She only knew me for about 2 weeks. She offered me to come stay at her house in the area where I was working. Now, again, I'm a perfect stranger. She has no references. All she knows is that I'm her coworker. And she offered me to come stay with her. So I didn't have to stay at a hotel or an extended stay and have that fluctuation. So she offered me
right.
stability. And we talked about it, and I talk about it in my book. We talked about it. It was mutually beneficial. But at the time, all I could think about was, wow, this degree of hospitality, would I have done the same thing?
Mm.
And then I think about, remember I told you when I was 17, I bought that young man home. I didn't know him from a man on the moon. And
Right.
so I was getting paid back, right? I was
Right.
reaping what I had sowed so many years ago, but I didn't know it at the time. So hospitality is huge. How can
Yeah.
we open our doors metaphorically or practically to help other people that need places to stay or places to be?
Yeah. That's cool.
All right.
Before we get to the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, we might have time for a couple more anyway. We're going to take a
Okay.
little break. So stay tuned.
Okay.
We've got more with Leslie right after this.
Hey, do you know a young person who has something to say, but just needs the confidence to say it? I think we all do. On May 9th, we're hosting Red X Youth Voices Summit. It's a full day of public speaking and leadership workshops for youth ages 10 and up. Many of these workshops will be facilitated by young people themselves. Red X stands for Real, Empowered, Dynamic. And that's exactly what we want young voices to become. In the morning, students are going to build confidence, practice communication skills, and learn how to speak with power and authenticity. Then in the afternoon, our high achievers take the stage with count them, three exciting competitions: motivational speaking, impromptu speaking, and debate, where you will compete with your team. Competitors can register for the full day experience, including workshops and lunch. And parents, teachers, coaches, and friends are welcome to attend and cheer them on. But seating is limited, so register soon if you'd like to compete or simply be a spectator. And if you are interested in being a sponsor for a part of our day, we'd love to hear from you as well and support the nonprofit, the Speak Feed Lead Project, who is hosting this big event. So join us and watch young people become real, empowered, and dynamic speakers.
Welcome back to In the Groove with Todd and Jackie. Of course, that's Jackie, and I'm Todd, and you're tuned in to a show with our amazing guest, Leslie Nelson. And before the break, we were talking about 3 of her 7 tips. What would you call them, Leslie? Tips?
These are 7 specific gifts that we
Gifts
can give to others. And
for
again, the book is
generosity.
Giving Recklessly. Generosity, absolutely.
And
Nice.
so we're
Absolutely.
told that she's combined a couple of them. So she only wants to give us 2 more. So she's going to entice us to buy her book
That's right.
and get the other 2 because they're big. I'm telling you right now, they're
All
big.
right. Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk next about enduring friendships. Do y'all have friends? Do y'all have friends that you don't know how you would have made it to where you are without them in your lives? And when we talk about the military experience, again, we were in military 27 years, about 27 years altogether. And every time we went somewhere, we met different people. And they became our family. They became our family away from home. So much so we spent more time with our military friends than we did with our family. When we came home, it was
Right.
every 3, 4, 6 months, but our military friends were always there. So enduring friendships is another gift that we can give to other people. These are people that, to coin a phrase, are your day ones. Who are those day ones in your lives? Not the 1 days. These are your day ones. These are people that you know are supportive of you. You can share your dreams. you actually can go a few months without talking to them, but when you get back on that phone, it's as if you never stopped having a conversation.
Right.
So the gift that we can give to each other in terms of relationship is having those enduring friendships and showing up for each other and being involved, especially getting with the military life. But who are those enduring friendships that you have in your life? That's another gift we can give to each other. We talked about a little bit how we talk to people and how we can convey our thoughts and our advice, etc. One other thing I want to dig a little bit deeper on is the gift of candor. The gift of
Mm,
candor,
interesting.
being frank, being honest, being open, but in ways that show respect for the other person, in ways that show other people that we really care for them. But you know what? This is something that we probably should talk about because I am concerned about where you're going. I'm concerned about your life, your
Hmm.
dreams, all those things. So let's have a candid conversation. And in my book, I talk about again another woman who has that gift of just being able to say things in a certain way, and people get it. And people get it. And it's so wonderful to be able, for example, to have conversations with our young folks. And then 10 years later, they come back and said, do you remember when you said this to me? Or do
Right.
you remember when you showed me how to do this? And then you see them walking in that reality. So we need people in our lives that will show up and will tell us candidly things that we may not see ourselves. Does that
Right.
make sense?
I've had
Yeah.
people do that with something I said on stage, and I have to look at them and say, okay, remind me what I said because it just flowed right out of me. But yeah, no, I know
Yes.
exactly what you're talking about. That's really cool. Okay, so show us a copy of the book,
Oh, absolutely.
and can we get it on Amazon or do we have to go to a special place? Where can we get that book?
Absolutely. Again, my book is called Giving Recklessly, Testimonials and Examples to Inspire Higher Levels of Generosity. You can
Mm.
purchase this book online at Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, or Walmart. Online,
Wow.
barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, and amazon.com.
Okay, there you
Nice.
go. You got to go get that book because we didn't tell you two of the gifts. And you want to know what those other gifts are. So the only way you're going to find out is to go get that book.
Well,
Absolutely.
I have a question
Absolutely.
about the recklessly part. Is
Hmm.
that in connection with the story you told about being 17 and picking up this kid that it was kind of risky and yet the benefits outweighed that risk in the end? Is that where the reckless part again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jackie, you hit a nail on the head. And it's all about perspective. To one
Mm.
person, it may seem reckless. To another person, it may seem normal. So I actually start off in the beginning of this book defining why I use the term recklessly. It is definitely a relative term. This is going above and beyond what people expect. And
Mm.
some people might say, why are you doing that? That's reckless behavior. But to me, I enjoy doing this nothing,
Yeah.
right? So again, it's about perspective. But definitely, Jackie, you're spot on there. Definitely, you're spot on.
Well,
It's how we
Leslie, it
perceive it.
reminds me of the pure love of Christ,
Mm.
right? Charity, love, faith, those types of values and principles that if we are living outwardly, if we're looking for ways to serve, we're not looking for ways to serve, but always available when some service is needed, to be finished or completed or done or whatever the case might be. If we're always just living with the idea that today I'm gonna love like Christ loved, and
Yes.
I'm just gonna do everything in my
Yes.
power to make someone else feel loved. Right? Is that
Yes.
kind of boil it down
That's
to
that's
being
that that's
generous?
that was my inspiration for writing the book. When I tell you this is a compilation of life experiences where God has showed up in my life, and I've seen him show up in other people's lives.
Mm.
This is something that I believe a lot of us have experiences, and until we internalize it and really think about what he's done for us. And once you realize what's happening, it will absolutely blow your mind. Now, something else you said, Jack, I just want to just say this quickly here. Sometimes it is beneficial to say no. I don't purport that we should always say
Right.
yes. So to your point, we have to ask God, we have to use discernment in some cases. When we have situations where the outcomes are not changing, you're consistently trying to help someone in a certain way, but their actions are not lining up with wanting to improve or do differently, sometimes
Mm,
you have to say no.
yeah.
And that's love. That's really love because if you continue
Enable
to
them.
enable, exactly. So there are times when it's beneficial to say no. I remember years ago when we were raising our kids, my kids were young, we lived in the Twin Cities. An older woman said to me, and it's interesting because she was an older woman then, and I'm now that older woman's age now. So it's all, I was like, what? But I remember her saying, because she saw me joining all the departments in the church and she saw me with the kids and my husband again with his military lifetime. She said, Leslie, you need to learn how to say no.
Mm,
You need to learn
She
how
could
to
see it.
say no. So
yeah.
generosity is about showing up, but it's also about discernment, about balancing. And we hear in an airplane, put on your mask first, right? Because if
Right.
we're not in a good place to do something else, we can't help out others. Put on our mask first.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting down there on time, but we
Yes,
want to
sir.
know, what does Pivotal Connections do? How can it benefit me if I got a hold of you?
Absolutely. In general, I provide adult and youth leadership development and parenting and family coaching services. I am learning so much about that connection part of the name of my business. I like to connect people. I
Mm,
like to help people move from where they are in their leadership journey, whether they are an aspiring leader or an actual leader, what does it take to grow? And those are oftentimes how we connect with others, how we relate to each other. I just finished up a series with an organization and I administer what I call as my Thriving as Involved Parents program. And in this program, I go through a series of topics to help parents lead well, help them lead their families well. And then I bring in resource panels so they can understand what in the community is available to parents and what's available to youth. So it's that whole spectrum of supporting the family, supporting leaders and ensuring that they have the tools and resources to do that well. And the most
okay.
important thing I feel in doing all that service is to find out what my customers need. I never like to push services on other people. I want to know what you uniquely need. So we have those conversations, Todd and Jackie, early on, so we know we're on the right path to helping them excel in leadership and leading their lives well.
Beautiful. So, Leslie, who is your ideal audience then when speaking about your business and your book? Are there particular people that, come together that combine to be the perfect audience for
Yeah.
promoting your book, plus also providing information and services as a business owner?
Great question. Turns out I do a lot within my community. I am so available to support nonprofit agencies, ministries. If you think about ministries that are trying to get people to see the value of giving and the ways that they
Mm,
can give, monetary and non-monetarily. So I sit on the board of a couple of agencies that support our youth. And so it's all about how we develop our youth, how we give them the tools and resources to grow and do well. So nonprofit agencies, I obviously do work for the county and corporate organizations too. I just find that my greater connection tends to be with nonprofits, ministries, and organizations that support our youth.
nice. Thank you for that. As a nonprofit, I thank you
Mhm,
for that.
mhm.
Because there
Absolutely.
is a nonprofits are supposed to be well cared for, and yet over the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, it feels like it's not necessarily happening. So when I hear of people who are supporting nonprofits, I appreciate it very much.
Mhm.
So,
And
all right.
interestingly, can I say one last thing? Interesting, I'm
Yeah, of
asked a
course.
lot whether I'm a nonprofit agency, and that's likely because of the services I have provided. It's a
Mm,
preponderance of serving nonprofits and
yeah,
community organizations. So that's my heart.
right.
So I think I think what I'm hearing from our audience, because I'm really tuned into you guys, I can hear you. We want to know what kind of challenges, it's we listen to people and we hear about the things they're doing good in the world, and we never hear really about what kind of challenges they're coming up against in their journey and their strive to do better. So what kind of challenges are you up against?
Well, I'll speak from an entrepreneurship. I'm a LLC, so everything is for me to do. So challenges can be from the range of managing my time well, having the bandwidth to network and get out and cultivate relationships. I believe in cultivating relationships, but we also have to be intentional about which relationships we cultivate. We can't be everything to everybody, right? So
Or
it's
you'll be
dialing
nobody.
back. Oh, absolutely. So it's dialing back and really understanding what your niche is, what wakes you up at night and gets you excited, what gives you passion, who you truly want to serve. And if we take on too much, we can't be effective. When God gives us things, when he can trust us with little things, he will expand our horizon and give us much, much more. So I want to be trusted in doing what he has me to do. But again, being all things to everybody, asking for assistance because we can't do everything. So maybe a virtual assistant is what's needed. But you have to be putting yourself in a place where you know what you want to do and how you want to get there.
Right. Yeah, that's great. So what's a stage then that you aspire to speak on? How do you want to get this message out to more
Wow, a
people?
stage. I aspire one day to do a TEDx. I keep hearing about TEDx, and I haven't been intentional about trying to find that path. So a TEDx, I love women's conferences. So any way
Mm,
I can get in front of women to inspire them. And I'll tell you, my heart is with military spouses,
Mm,
whether they're men or women, military spouses. I told you I had a journey of being a military spouse. I know what it feels like when you're separated from your spouse. I know what it feels
right.
like when you're a married single parent.
yeah.
You're married, but you're raising kids and all the associated struggles. So anyone who I can inspire and encourage to keep moving because you can make it, you can do it.
Sounds to
Yeah.
me like you found your niche. You got some pretty good niches
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Well, we have one last question for you today, Leslie. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks for sharing your message to our audience, and thank you for the generosity that you perform on a daily basis and all that you do. So, we're wondering, how do you get in the groove every day? That might mean something different to everybody. So, what does it mean for you to be in the groove, and how do you happen to do that every day?
Yeah, that's a great question because we need our motivation every day. I have a reminder on my calendar and it says spend time with God.
Mm,
And so the first thing I think about is whether I'm just reading a scripture or two or whether I'm reading my devotion. That's how I start my day. I also like to incorporate flexibility. So it's not, I'm doing this, getting up, moving around, spending time with my mom because I'm also her caregiver. So
mhm.
incorporating that in flexibility really helps me get through any given day. I am at this stage of my life, this season of my life where I love having options, Todd. I like having options.
Yeah.
And so my day is my day. My day is how I schedule it, right? But it's the season that I'm in and I'm embracing it. So that's how I get in the groove, just knowing that this is my day. This is the day the
Nice.
Lord has made, and I'm going to do what He asks me to do.
Good for
And
you.
it's going to be a groovy day no matter what.
Absolutely. 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 Absolutely.
Well, Leslie, thank you so much for showing up as you. You are an amazing gift to the world, and I think there's a lot of people that can use your services. So I want to make sure everybody knows, find Pivotal Connections and her book, Reckless Generosity. Check it out on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
So,
Mhm.
did we say that right? Is it Pivotal Connections or Pivotal Connection?
Pivotal Connections, LLC.
Okay.
The
Okay.
book is on Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and Walmart.com, and it's called Giving Recklessly. You can also find me on Instagram at PivotCon. That's PIVOTCONN. I'm also on LinkedIn, just under my name, Leslie K. Nelson, MBA. I'm out there too. And finally, I will, in the very near future, have a book. It's going to be a generosity workbook. So you can go to generosityworkbook.com, and that will be a resource that can be available to you that aligns with the book that I wrote, Given Recklessly.
Wow.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Very
Look
cool.
forward to that then.
Thanks again, Leslie, for showing up as you. That's about all we
Thank
have time for
you.
today. I hope you enjoyed the show. My biggest hope is that you'll tell a friend about the show.
Yes.
And you say, hey, these two people get in the groove with a groovy guest every week. And it's really a groovy show. Have I
Yes,
said
it
groovy
is.
enough?
Yes, you have.
Lastly, please, please, please make it a great day because it is all about choice. And choose to be recklessly generous and groovy too. Bye-bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
That's a wrap for this episode of In the Groove with Todd and Jackie, where good vibes meet great conversations and change makers take center stage.
We hope you've been inspired by today's guest and are ready to bring more positivity, connection, and impact into your world.
If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a little groove in their life.
And don't forget to check us out on toddandjackie.com for more great conversations.
Until next time, keep shining, keep grooving, and keep making a difference.